You're listening to the BBM Global Network with 25 years in broadcast audio and video production. Our passionate team creates content and marketing for the world of Internet Talk Radio. If you've got a passion, come join us at bbmglobalnetwork.com. The BBM Global Network. Your voice is now heard.
Nancy Anger, who loves helping people break through to a fulfilling and well-lived life, is here with Light Up Your Life. Join Nancy, an intuitive guide and master energy healer, and her extraordinary expert guests for fresh new ideas and life-changing stories. So please welcome the host of Light Up Your Life, Nancy Anger.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Light Up Your Life. I'm your host, Nancy Anger, and we are live on the Bold Brave TV network. And I am excited for today's guest, Elisabeth Westermann. She is a music therapist and a founder of the Soundcodes therapy, as well as counseling. Something she's currently only offering right now or teaching in the German-speaking countries. And Elisabeth is from Germany, and she, in the past years, she has traveled around the world, including the U.S., to train on her beautiful work with Soundcodes. So, welcome, Elisabeth. It's wonderful to have you back on the show. We're here October 5th, and thank you. We were just talking, you have a busy schedule, so much beautiful work that you're bringing, so I appreciate it. And so I first met Elisabeth in 2013. I did not have the pleasure of meeting Elisabeth then. However, you had trained in the United States, had come, I'm in Massachusetts, and she came across from California, and I didn't really know what Soundcodes was or any of it was, and I knew that something called me to try it. It was like, this might help my pain. It might help my upper back pain. It did, and I've been doing a lot of things for years. I had been doing yoga and massage and many things, and that Soundcode session made a significant change in my neck, in my posture, in many things. So, including a few months later, I was a half-inch taller, confirmed by my doctor. So she said, "You don't taller at your age." She said that And we're back. So this is a Light Up Your Life, and I'm talking to Elisabeth Westermann of Soundcodes Therapy, and over in Germany. So it's afternoon here and even over in your time. So thanks for being up a little later for us. And so I was saying, just when I first experienced your work, the Soundcode, had never heard them, but it made a profound, so much so that I ended up training when you go to this country. And so again, welcome. And so I always do ask, like, how did you, like, the work that you do is so profound and beautiful. So can you just first share a little bit about your background and how you came to this work?
Well, I came from a family of musicians, in a way, at least. They love to hear and to play music. So I was very connected to music in the first place. And then I was trained as a singer and did things like that before I married. And then after a long time, to make a long story short, I was introduced by a friend of mine to the idea that there could be a specific way of using singing in healing work, and that is that it is so specific is what makes it so unique. Because usually when you are working with music, it's more a general effect that you will find on the whole system. And here you can actually sing a little. It's like a language that the body understands, and you sing a little phrase, very easy to learn, very easy to sing, and the body will understand right away what is actually happening. And that thrilled me. So, and then she said to me, you have all of this information in your personal Akashic records. Go and get them. And that's how it actually started then. And I downloaded them. I actually downloaded them in Florida. Vacation in Florida. I think it was Santa Ana Island or something like that.
Okay.
And it was beautiful there. And I was sitting on the balcony and downloading all of that information step by step by step by step. And then I started.
Wonderful. Yeah. So what I'm feeling is sometimes when we leave our own environment, it's like it shifts for us, that we can changes things, It's like we can see things in a different way we did before. So that is beautiful. And I know working with you, the first work you worked with was with the Atlas and the body, and really from my experience, and I know from training you that you could see physical changes in the body, so physical proof. So can you share a little bit more of the Soundcodes, what they are and how they work? I know you just a little bit about them.
It's a very short little melody, which is defined not in the pitch. It's defined by the melody, the rhythm, and the vowels and consonants that are used. And that is sometimes a little tricky for American-speaking or English-speaking people, because it was originated in German, of course. So when I write them down in notation with the vowels, you would have to rewrite. For example, if you say I, we say E, yeah? So, and for me, it's fun because I can see that people that I train in your countries, in the English-speaking countries, would learn a little bit of German.
Yes. Yeah, I have to write little notes for myself. Another interesting thing is I never saw myself as, or I never thought, when I first experienced this modality, never in a million years, I think a year later I would be taking the training. Literally I know even that you've just like the Soundcodes literally help people's voice develop as well. Right?
Absolutely. I've seen that over and over again, and I was so astonished because there was actually a teacher for voice before I started this work. And so I was expecting people to have lessons in singing, to be able to sing the sound codes in a decent way. No way, it wasn't necessary. It just happened. And that is one of the really astounding things.
Yes. Yeah. And I think also I remember the first time I also discovered when I first learned it, we did it in person, everything, it was mostly in person. But I remember the first time another friend who was a trainer or another practitioner
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
It was almost instant,
And we're back live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'm your host, Nancy Anger, on Light Up Your Life, and we are talking to Elisabeth Westermann. So, Elisabeth, today's topic, I'm really excited. You hear a lot about the third eye, or the pineal gland, but you have just the work that you've been doing with the pineal gland is very profound. Can you share about that, please?
Yes, I have been researching, and especially lately, I also got more information about this really interesting gland. So it has a very, very profound role in the whole functioning of the body, as well, of course, the higher levels of consciousness and the higher levels of our being. We all know about the third eye and all of those things, but it also has a very profound role in the harmonious functioning of every organ in the body. And I didn't know about that. So it is very important that it will function in a harmonious and best way possible. And there are lots of things that prevent it from being able to do that. And there are things that you can do on a regular basis at your home to help your pineal gland. So one of them is stay away of fluoride. I say it again, stay away of fluoride. Yeah, not in the toothpaste, not in the water, not at your dentist. Stay away, because it will be collected. The fluoride will be collected and it will calcificate the pineal gland. So that is one of the most important things. Then, of course, as far as I heard, in most of your countries already you are working with 5G. So those rays and also all of the other rays that we work with, like the microwave and the, many of those, they are lessening the capability of the pineal gland to be able to function harmoniously. So if you have any kind of device to help you there, to lessen these effects, or to actually, to my taste, the best is to harmonize it, to turn it around instead of trying to push it away. So if you can find things like that, that would help. And actually there is a bundle of Soundcodes that you can purchase for a very low price on my website that you could use to support you there. I would combine it with other things. And you would put it on stones, and you can put them in your house, and it would help you. And there are other things. There is another bundle of Soundcodes that you could sing to. That's a word I don't know. The cell phone tower or something like that.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Cell phone towers, because they could change their frequency in a way. So it would be more harmonious. It would not disturb you so much. And as with that in the background, that would help that the 5G, which is usually not on the cell phone tower, but on other equipments, would not work in the way it works. So it could work together more harmoniously. And then one other very important thing is the light bulbs. So the LED bulbs, they would disturb the pineal gland a lot. So if you can get the old bulbs, in Europe you can find them in the internet. Because there is a certain frequency that they send out. We can't see it. It's too quickly, but our pineal gets it, and it gets disturbed. So that's the physical realm. And then, of course, one of the most important things is go and get less stress.
Yes.
Don't let yourself be distorted by this and that and that and that and that. You need to find a time to calm down, a time to rest, a time to recreate, because that is one of the most important things that would lessen the function of this gland, and that would disturb your whole harmonious functioning of the body.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, more and more, like I've just started out with yoga and teaching yoga many years ago, and it seems like it's just always the message is coming back about just breathing even. It may sound simple, but, and I think kind of some of the things you're talking about is really just stepping away and being in nature or coming back to nature. Coming back to our own nature. I had not heard that about the LED bulbs, but since my husband started bringing them around, I've somehow felt a little resistant. So maybe some part of me had an idea about something on that. So, but yeah, and the other thing is it's natural for aging can also calcify a little bit as well. So there is some natural that happens. So I think what you're talking about is really how can we support, what things can we do to support?
A little calcification is normal. You have to consider that it's like this, and there is a pineal gland like this, yeah? So, it's much too much, yeah?
Yes.
So it has to try to come to break out again and to be cleansed from this. And when we get into a higher level of functioning and of consciousness, and we come to rest, and we are falling into being instead of doing, then it will be different.
Beautiful. I love that. So we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what else you've discovered and more about like working with the pineal gland and how the sound codes can help really bring us back to ourselves. So we'll be back.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
And welcome back to Light Up Your Life. I'm your host, Nancy Anger. We're live on the Bold Brave TV network and talking to Elisabeth Westermann, who is coming to us live from Germany. And we are talking about sound codes and the pineal gland. And really, now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the modality, I guess you want to call it, that you've created or that has come through you to really help us connect back into ourselves on all levels. That's the way I see it. So can you share more about that?
Yes. So I found, and it's not me alone, of course not, that the pineal gland is actually the connecting factor between the brain intelligence, the heart intelligence, and the gut intelligence. Mm-hmm. So that when we get this gut feeling, we can ask our heart about it, and then the heart will connect with the brain, and all three can connect to find out what needs to be done, what needs to be spoken, and what's the matter. And for that to happen in a harmonious way, it makes absolute sense to support the pineal gland to be able to function in a harmonious way again. don't think it makes sense to activate it, because that should be and will be a natural process that will happen internally when the system is ready for a certain stage of development. However, it makes a lot of sense to help it to come back to an harmonious functioning, which is a totally different perspective. Yeah. And then it can connect these parts. And there is a package of sound codes that can be used to support the system to be able to do this connection in the best way possible. And then there is another connection, which is between the third eye, the pineal gland itself, which is in the middle of the head, and then back to what's called the mouth of God, which is the Atlas region, where we come back to what you shared in the beginning of our interview or our conversation, where you said you got this session and the session helped you with your whole positioning of the body.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the first part that is worked on, that's why it's called Atlas balancing, is the Atlas, of course, then. And there we have the connection again. And we could connect the pineal region with this region and then with the third eye.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so we have this and then we have that. And when all of that is connected, all of the different possibilities that we have in our physical as well as our energetic bodies to function together, to communicate in the best way possible and bring about the best out of us.
I love that. And it makes me think, we're talking about the third eye, which is, the sixth chakra. And I think, the chakras, not, the root chakra goes down and the crown goes up, just to be simple, but the other chakras have, a front and a back. And sometimes people might be more active in the front and more shut down in the back. So I love that your sound codes help support the whole thing. It's really bringing things back into balance. And one thing that's coming to mind also, because you talked about the calcification that can happen from like external influences, in addition to some natural aging, but some of the sound codes also they also help support the decalcification as well, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the first step. And then you would start the connection. Yeah. And you would start, actually what you could do is you could work with all of the parts of the body. There are sound codes for the organs, there are sound codes for the glands, there are sound codes for the nervous system, there are sound codes for the chakras. So all of that could work together with the pineal, no question. And there are packages that you can see and that you can, if you feel attracted to it, you could purchase them, you could work with yourself, and you could also work with others with them. So
yes, but you have the specific package for the pineal gland, which I know
Absolutely.
You trained on earlier this year. And I think last year you taught the self-treatment, and this year you taught for some of us to also work with others one-on-one. And so a part of that I know was connected to what you just said, the third eye, the pineal, and the back, the mouth of God. And then also you mentioned the heart intelligence and then the gut intelligence. So I know right now we're in the age of Aquarius, which is the air element, and which is the heart. So the heart is, an amazing organ. Like it's, what is it? The Heart Brain Institute, like the 40,000 neurons in the heart. So when we come back, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we are going to talk a little bit more about like the heart, that heart intelligence, and then the gut and how those also play a role. So we'll be back.
The opiate epidemic has reached crisis levels, and with so many families affected by addiction, opiate-related drug overdoses, and death, the time is now to have a real constructive conversation about addiction that could lead to better prevention, treatment, and recovery. Alan Charles, author and keynote speaker on drug abuse and prevention, presents The Alan Charles Show. Alan brings a message of hope, sharing his unbelievable story of surviving a 24-year addiction to cocaine and highlights from his memoir, Walking Out the Other Side, an addict's journey from loneliness to life. His raw honesty and courageous heart breaks the stigma of addiction and offers a unique perspective into the mind of an addict. Join Alan each week as he brings his listeners to a true understanding of the grip of addiction. It is only with this understanding that we can begin to heal. The Alan Charles Show, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network. Have you ever felt like no one is listening, or you're not getting the honest attention you deserve? Do you even know the kind of attention you want or need? You are not alone. Alice Aspen March is here to help. Thanks to Alice, through her epiphany and research over the word attention, there are solutions to the attention dilemma. Worldwide audiences have been enthralled and engaged for over 40 years with her visionary and pioneering observations. The kind of attention we get and give is vital to improving our lives and society. Alice and her weekly guests review game-changing insights for transforming and improving our understanding of attention, providing techniques for creating healthier and empowering behavior. Get a new perspective on a mainstream word. Tune into Why Our Attention Matters for fresh and thought-provoking conversations every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on boldbravemedia.com and the TuneIn Radio app.
And we are back, and I'm your host, Nancy Anger, on Light Up Your Life. I am talking to Elisabeth Westermann, and we're live on the Bold Brave TV network. And so we're talking about really, I want to say the word sovereignty, starting to come back to our own knowing, because there's so much information out in the world, right? And so many choices. And I think at the end of the day, we're the ones that know what's best for us, which can be completely different for someone else. And so that's one of the beautiful things I love about this pineal, harmonizing the pineal. And it was way more than the pineal. So we're going to talk now about the heart and the gut knowing. So take it away.
Yeah, so the heart is a very, very interesting organ because it connects the whole system. It's not only a pump, it's the organ that is able to sense and experience all of the rhythms in the body. And there are lots of rhythms that we have, lots of frequencies that come together and work together to make us harmonious functioning people, or animals for that matter. And so no wonder that the heart also has nerve cells and like a brain of its own. And they are just researching on that. And then it's also an internal gland. Internal gland, is that right? True, the right word?
Endocrine gland?
Endocrine.
Yes.
Yeah, an endocrine gland. So it has fluids that it sends out through the body. It's very, very interesting. And still, we are so much connected with our brain intelligence, which is the emperor in our system, which actually is not happy with that role. Because it would love to serve us instead of being the emperor. And that can happen when the heart intelligence starts to flower, when we ask our heart before we act. And then the heart would also get information from the gut. And then when we get that information, something is somehow a little bit or a lot wrong here. I don't know what it is. Heart, tell me what it could be. Yeah? Then the heart will feel it. The heart will sense it. The heart will feel the rhythm in it, or the harmonious flow of it, or the inharmonious stagnation in it. And then it will talk with the brain about the thing and will come up with the answer.
I love that.
And then there is another side to it. When you get stuck in your solar plex with a situation or a person, or because you get into a resistance against life, then it's working brain together with gut, and the heart is left out. And then the best thing is to talk with a friend, like I did yesterday, because I had a situation like that happening. I felt that I was falling out of this, it's actually not a feeling, it's an attitude or a state of being into resisting. And I didn't even realize it was a resistance. So I talked with a friend of mine, and then she named it a resistance. And then she said, go to your heart and ask your heart how your heart would handle this situation. And then you will have the answer, and then the heart can flower again. So you see, all of these parts work together. And then this morning I woke up and I felt that I can't say I was back in the state of being totally, but I was much more there than I had been before.
I love that. And the heart, I think the heart is like the home of the soul in the physical body. Like when I work with Akashic records, or even other healings that I do, other modalities, it's like there's one that I do that reminds me of what we're talking about. I don't know if it's called emotional healing, but in the healing, it's kind of like working with the sacral and the sixth and making the heart as like the balance point in the center. And that really is the balance point. It's the center. But I also do see people when I, working with them, and they go up into their brain and rely on the brain. And it's really the brain and the mind is supposed to be in service of the soul, in service of the heart, not the other way around. So, and I love that science is always catching up later with the, like the energy work, the things that people discover, the mystics and the energy healers and people like you. And then it's like, then science says, oh yeah, because it's I think the Heart Brain Institute that's proven the energy of the heart is so amazing. Like it extends, I don't know, either 5 or 8 miles out, that they've actually proven that the heart field can go. And I love that. So one of the things that you mentioned too was about the frequencies and the being harmonious. And so one of the ways that I know the sound healing and sound codes work is it's the higher vibration, and that the body like responds to that and kind of entrains, correct? Comes into alignment with it.
Yes. And it also gets with the vibrato. Yeah. The vibrating of the voice, it gets into a state of theta waves.
Yes, theta.
So it will be absolutely calmed down. So people, when they receive sound codes, it can go deep into their unconscious, because they're in a state of trance, actually.
Yes, I think it's... what is it, Einstein that said something about like you can't get out of a situation with the same thinking that got you into it. And that's where I love like music. And then even I love how you said in the very beginning, sound codes, how they're very specific, where certain music might have an effect, but the sound codes that you that have come through you, they're very intentional and very specific. And that our bodies know how to respond to them, which is another beautiful thing. So it's all like a beautiful exchange of energy that happens. So
And it's really, when you sing a sound code for a certain part of the body, it's only this part of the body that will respond.
Beautiful. So we're gonna, Elizabeth is gonna treat us with a few sound codes, because that, I think, is the best way to experience them. So we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, Elizabeth's gonna sing some sound codes. So we'll be back.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery, or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Welcome back to Light Up Your Life. I'm your host, Nancy Anger, and this is Elisabeth Westermann. We are live on the Bold Brave TV network, and Elisabeth has been sharing about, we've been talking about the pineal and the heart and the gut, like really reconnecting our bodies, brains, and knowing. And Elizabeth's going to treat us to some sound codes, and you were just sharing something about the pineal that you remembered. You said, so you share that about the pineal.
Yes. So I just remembered that just lately I got to know that the pineal is really reacting a lot to fear. It's closing up, like the heart is closing up when we are in fear. So the opposite of love is not hatred. Hatred is just another face of love. We get into hatred when we feel that we are rejected with our love. Fear is the actual opposite because it closes the heart. And so the first sound code that I will be singing for you today or tonight or whenever you will watch this,
right,
will be the transformation from fear into love. And then the next one that I will be singing is to help the pineal to really decalcificate from the too much of calcification, too much of close-up, too much of shrinking. And then the last one that I will be singing is the universalist amongst our sound codes, the state of love, which is actually the basic state of being, where the heart would start to flower.
Beautiful. Yeah. Okay.
See the sound codes, just relax, close your eyes, and just experience and enjoy. You. Ye, 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 Via dukkha, 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 via dukkha.
Beautiful. Yeah, so beautiful. So things were coming through my, I felt the first one a lot in the crown, and then the second in the ears, and then it makes so much sense what you were saying before about the pineal responding to fear, because we it shuts down our knowing, right? When we're afraid, we shut down, we forget what we know. And we go up here and we're like, I don't know. But when we drop down here, we really know. And another thing that was coming through is like every person experiences the codes differently. Some people might the first time be like, I don't feel anything, or I'm not sure what I feel, but I've found, and you probably have found the same, there's more and more people are getting interested in energy work and trying different things. And I've done Soundcodes on somebody and then done some a year later, and they said, wow, I took a Reiki training recently and now I feel the Soundcodes differently. So, I love how they're cumulative too. Can you speak to that a little bit? And also at the very end, the code you didn't mention was to allow the Soundcodes to keep working in the body. So can you share a little more about that?
Yeah, well, the sound codes are part of this dimension here of the earth and all of its beauty around it. Mm-hmm. So, of course, when the earth is evolving and is ascending, they would also become more powerful. And I've seen that a lot in the last, let's say, 10 months, more and more and more and more. And when I'm doing sound code work, when I'm doing a session, I can't do 10 sessions a day anymore. There's no way ever, because it's so powerful. 2 or 3, and then it's enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's such beautiful work, though. So we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, I'm glad you just mentioned about doing sessions. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about how people can learn about doing this work if they want to do it online, in person, or some of the things that you mentioned earlier, and how they can connect with you. So we'll be back.
The opiate epidemic has reached crisis levels, and with so many families affected by addiction, opiate-related drug overdoses, and death, the time is now to have a real constructive conversation about addiction that could lead to better prevention, treatment, and recovery. Alan Charles, author and keynote speaker on drug abuse and prevention, presents The Alan Charles Show. Alan brings a message of hope, sharing his unbelievable story of surviving a 24-year addiction to cocaine and highlights from his memoir, Walking Out the Other Side, an addict's journey from loneliness to life. His raw honesty and courageous heart breaks the stigma of addiction and offers a unique perspective into the mind of an addict. Join Alan each week as he brings his listeners to a true understanding of the grip of addiction. It is only with this understanding that we can begin to heal. The Alan Charles Show, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network. Have you ever felt like no one is listening, or you're not getting the honest attention you deserve? Do you even know the kind of attention you want or need? You are not alone. Alice Aspen March is here to help. Thanks to Alice, through her epiphany and research over the word attention, there are solutions to the attention dilemma. Worldwide audiences have been enthralled and engaged for over 40 years with her visionary and pioneering observations. The kind of attention we get and give is vital to improving our lives and society. Alice and her weekly guests review game-changing insights for transforming and improving our understanding of attention, providing techniques for creating healthier and empowering behavior. Get a new perspective on a mainstream word. Tune into Why Our Attention Matters for fresh and thought-provoking conversations every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on boldbravemedia.com and the TuneIn Radio app.
And we're back live on the Bold Brave TV network. I'm your host, Nancy Anger, talking to Elisabeth Westermann today on Light Up Your Life. And if you missed the show and you're just tuning in, be sure to go back to the beginning, because we really had a great conversation, and we just Elisabeth's just sang some beautiful sound codes. And every time I listen to them, I just something new comes through. And it was actually listening to your sound codes in 2014 when you came in person that was like the Pied Piper calling me to this work. So for people that would like to experience this work, how can they do that? What's the best ways?
Well, if you as Americans would like to see somebody in person, it wouldn't be me. The good news is I trained a lot of people in your beautiful country all over the place. And there's a website, daota.com, which you will find in the notes down. And there you will find a list of practitioners that would be lovingly working with you. And if the time doesn't allow to see each other in person, they can also work on Zoom or Skype or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then also there is a channel that I love to share with you, Codes of Joy, on Telegram, and you will find it also to click on the website, as well as our Soundcode Therapy channel, where you would find information. And then the most wonderful thing is you can be trained in your own country by the people of your country, because I train trainers in the US and they are starting working pretty soon. And I'm very happy to know that. And then, of course, you can go on the website and you can download some of the sound codes for free. Actually, 2 of those that I sang today, you would find there. You can download them. You can sing them. You can always sing with me. You can read on this channel and sing with me and use the sound codes for yourself. And you can always ask the people that are practitioners what they would offer when for you.
Beautiful. Yes. I had, when I first got, my sound codes experience, I had no idea that I was going to follow this path, but I just, becoming a practitioner and then doing the training, and I love that we can do the trainings on Zoom now. So yeah, it's very exciting. It's like you gave birth to, this thing, and now it's spreading. It's spreading around and doing such beautiful work. So yeah.
And it's maybe possible that next year I will start to do these free sound code singing evenings online again. If I do, it's live, and you should take advantage, because I will not do much of this.
Beautiful. So thank you for joining us. And if people are also looking for the replay, you can also, I have a link on my website, nancyanger.com. If you look under About and Featured In, you can find all the replays there. And I know you have a YouTube channel too, so people can look you up. It's Elisabeth with an S, Westermann, it ends with ANN. So thanks for joining me, Elisabeth. And
it was my
great to
pleasure
see
and great joy.
Thank you.
This has been Light Up Your Life with your host, Nancy Anger. Why settle for less when you can stack the deck for more fun and better results? So tune in each week for a dose of inspiration and living your life to the fullest right here on Nancy Anger's Light Up Your Life.
You've been listening to the BBM Global Network. The ideas, views, and opinions of this broadcast are those of the participants of the program and are not necessarily the ideas, views, and opinions of the BBM Global Network Company.